what I'm saying? No. Us. Yeah, right there. You probably know. It was further back last week, wasn't it? That's like shit. Yeah, hell yeah, it was more back. Right, Walgreens. That's cool. All right, Shalom. Start this off by giving all honor, praise, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Wahakadah Shakah.
Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Peace and blessings to the brothers, the faithful elect, those, slaves to be saved from the destruction that's been declared from the beginning to happen to America, man. Code name in the Bible is the daughter of Babylon, and many different other aliases as well, but primarily, that's one of the main ones. But nonetheless, the destruction is also declared to come upon, the entire globe, in many different forms, but primarily America, in the form of, complete nuclear destruction, man. And other different ways of methods of destruction as well. Those slated to be saved from it are the Israelites, also declared in the Bible to be none other than the Israelites, so-called blacks, aka Negroes, so-called Latinos, Native American Indians, West Indians, Seminole Indians, so-called Afro people scattered. You are who we come out to speak to, and day in and day out, preach this word to them. All right? And so it primarily consisted of men teaching the truth across the four corners of the globe, the true doctrine of the Bible, the doctrine of the Heavenly Father, in the name of His Son, who people ignorantly call God and Christ, whose real names are the name of God being Yahweh, the name of the Most High God being Yahweh, and the name of His Son being Yahushua. All right? And the men, women, and children also who turn back to their heritage of the Israelite nation and are in the true doctrine of Yahweh Yahushua, according to their works. They are also slated to slavery in as well. All right? So, we back again, man. In season, out of season, and we get that first those that's not slated to be saved will be eradicated. The destruction is upon, as I said, this place and all its, but also all the wicked inhabitants hereof. Right? All right.
All right, this 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2. It says, preach the word, be instant, in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine.
Yeah, so preach the word, be in season, out of season, man. You know, it's out of season for a lot of things right now. It's out of season for, wearing shorts. It's out of season for wearing tank tops outside right now in the Midwest, different parts of the Mid-East. We really in the Mid-East, we're not in the Midwest at all. It's not even snowing on the West, all right? We're in the Mid-East, in the East Coast as well, all right? Time with that.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2. Preach the word, be instant, in season, out of season.
All right, so be instant, in season, out of season. So when it's no longer, advisable to be wearing shorts, it will always be advisable to be in the truth. All right, preaching His word. Go ahead.
2 Timothy chapter 4 and 2. Preach the word, be instant, in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine.
First Peter 1:25. And we preaching this, we're preaching this doctrine of the Bible, the doctrine of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right? Say something? What? Okay, go ahead.
It's 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 25. It says, but the word of the Lord endureth forever.
So the word of the Lord endures forever, man. So this is always going to be advisable to you. You know what I'm saying? This is never a time. This is like the tank top you wear all year round. It's that favorite tank top you want to wear all year round. You know what I'm saying? This is how this supposed to be. These truths is all year round, man. Let's keep it simple. You go back to that. And it endures, man. We're going to go right back to on it. Go ahead.
2 Timothy chapter 4 and 2. Preach the word. Be instant, in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine.
Reproving and exhorting with all long suffering and doctrine, man. Long suffering means being patient. Alright? Putting up with the cold conditions. Enduring unto the end, man. Suffering just for this truth, period, man. And we're going to be able to do it because we got the word. Go back to that.
Fine. It's 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 25. It says, but the word of the Lord endureth forever.
One more time.
1 Peter 1 and 25, it says, but the word of the Lord endureth forever.
Yeah, the word of the Lord endureth forever, man. When you go into that word endure, it means make hard, man. There's nothing that you can put up against the truth. There's no storm or weather. There's no weather that can come up against the truth that can prevent this truth from being always, availing much, man. You know what I'm saying? Always being able to just be. Got it? Alexa, run that quick, man. Go ahead. Go back. Go to give me Isaiah 55 and 1. Nah, they ain't there. 53 and 1. Jump down to 5. Search like 40 something. Restore tribes. Yeah, man, this word is enduring. It's made hard. So if you are bringing out this word, yeah, that's it. 49 and 6. If you are carrying this word, you being made hard, man. You see, this word ain't cold right now. This word don't care that it's snowing right now. This word don't care you ain't able to wear that. You know what I'm saying? It don't care, man. This word don't care that so-called coronavirus is going on right now. It don't matter, man. Because the word of the Lord endures forever, man. And those that preach it, are to be like-minded. You got it.
This is Isaiah chapter 40.
Alright, yeah, give me jump up a little bit more. Start at 3.
Con. Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 3. It says, and said unto me, thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Then I said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for naught, and in vain. Yet surely my judgment is with the Lord, and my work is
One
with...
more time on that, one time.
Con. Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 3. It says, and said unto me, thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Then I said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for naught, and in vain. Yet surely my judgment is with the Lord, Yahweh.
1-3 again, Salaki.
Call to up.
Just let me know you get it. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 3, it says, and said unto me, thou art my servant, O Israel.
Yeah, so we the Lord's servant, man. So you gotta, if you're the Lord, if you're the, somebody that's, hitting the highways and byways, man, you understanding that we serve the Lord right now. Go ahead.
This 2 Timothy.
You brother.
Huh. It says, in whom I will be glorified.
In whom I will be glorified. And how are you glorified? Real quick, give me Matthew. Like St. John 15. St. John 15. 8. Go ahead.
This St. John chapter 15, verse 8.
Yeah.
It says, herein.
Yeah, herein, man. See that? Come on.
Is my Father glorified.
So herein is my Father glorified. So how is the Father glorified? Herein is my Father glorified. You can read that verse one more time.
Con. Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 3. And said unto me, thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified.
You see that? Now how are you going to be glorified? Go ahead.
Then said I,
John chapter 15, verse 8. Herein is my Father glorified.
Herein is my Father glorified. Go ahead. Go tell us. Come on.
That ye bear much fruit, so shall ye be my disciples.
Yeah, bear much fruit, man. Means do this work, man. Do whatever it is you got to do, so you can bear much fruit, because that's how the Lord gets His glory. You got it.
Con. Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 3. And said unto me, thou art my servant.
You got to jump. What's the last word? Verse 4?
No, verse 3.
That was it. Okay, you got it.
You want? Con. It says, and said unto me, thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified.
You see that? And why? Because you're going to be doing this work. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Then I said, I have labored in vain.
Then he said, I labored in vain. Come on.
I have spent my strength for naught.
Keep going.
And in vain. Yet surely my judgment is with the Lord Yahweh.
Yep.
And my work with my power, my God.
Yeah, see, it tell you right there. It just told you 100% what that glory is. It's that work, man. It's doing that work. But yeah, man.
God, this is St. John chapter 15, verse 8. Herein is my Father glorified.
Herein is my Father glorified. Come on.
That ye bear much fruit.
You got it. You got it.
Huh. Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 4. It says, then I said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for naught, and in vain. Yet surely my judgment is with the Lord Yahweh, and my work with my God.
Yeah. Surely is. Come on.
It says, and now saith the Lord that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him.
Yeah, he formed me from the womb to be his servant. Go ahead. To bring Jacob, to do what? To bring Jacob unto him, man. You see what I'm saying? Because there's going to be a time where Jacob wasn't going to be with the Lord anymore. You see what I'm saying? There's going to be that falling away. You know, that's talked about. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick.
need one?
Yeah, I need it.
Oh, no, I got some. I got some for all the options.
Go ahead. 2 and 3.
This 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
That's the falling away. The falling away is when, we fell away from being who we were. Being the Israelites. Being the truth. Go ahead.
And that men
Being with the Father. And we go on to become so-called black, Latino, Native American Indians, West Indians. Go ahead.
And that man of sin be revealed.
All right, you got it. You take the top.
Con.
Come.
This is Isaiah 49 and verse 5. It says, and now saith the Lord Yahweh that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him.
See that? Because the falling away has happened. So now we're in this part. Come on.
Though Israel be not gathered.
See, so Israel be not gathered. We're not gathered together. We're still northern kingdom, southern kingdom right now. And most of them don't even know they of the northern kingdom and southern kingdom. Go ahead, bro. Yet
shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord.
Yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord. Yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord. Because look, Jake ain't up here right now. Jake ain't up here listening. People at home not even listening. Many people, a brother may know what the fuck they at. Really, they all Jake. I don't know Edomites like that. You know what I'm saying? I know Jake. Where the fuck y'all at, man? Though Israel be not gathered, you read it one time.
Con. It says, though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord.
Yeah, and then even if they do gather, I hope y'all don't take it serious. Matter of fact, don't worry about it. Give me Ezekiel. Ezekiel 33 and 33.
This is Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 31. And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people.
No, start at 30.
This is Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 30. Also, thou son of man,
The Lord wants something to be known. Come on.
the children of thy people.
The children of thy people. Who is the children of thy people? Jakes. All people I know. Speak for myself. Go ahead.
All right. Still are talking against thee.
They still are talking against me. Because I said, where are you at now? You're probably talking against me. That's the fuck you do. Bunch of goddamn devils, man. Go ahead.
By the walls and in the doors of houses. It's
by the walls and the doors of houses. We outside right now, man. On Post View, on Front Street, man. On live. You know what I'm saying? Where you at? Your ass. Let me get Haggai 1. Haggai 1 start at 3. You got it.
Con. And speak one to another.
Take some time.
Con. Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 30. Also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses. And speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that come forth from the Lord, Yahweh. And they come unto thee as the people coming.
And they come unto thee as the people coming. You gotta read that, man. Come on.
And they sit before thee as my people.
See, and they sit before thee as my people. Because if you do come, you see what I'm saying? If you are at home, you see what I'm saying? Go ahead. Listening. Go ahead.
And they hear thy words.
You see what I'm saying? Come on.
But
nigga tell you on the phone, I'll be listening, man. I'll be here. Go ahead.
But they will not do them.
See that? You listening, but all right, when you want to come in, when you come in, drop the shalom. Let us know you in the building. Let us know you a part of this, man. Where the fuck you at? Where you at, man? Because you either doing something for this truth or you holding it back. You in the goddamn way. Yahweh Shah said that out of his own mouth. He said, he that is with me, he that is not with me is against me, man. You know, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad. So if you're trying to bring our people together using some black power crap or some business tactic or some shit like that, some giving back to community bullshit like that, and it ain't this word, you scatter it, man. Lord gonna dismember your ass. Go ahead.
God. Ezekiel 33 and verse 31. And they come unto thee as the people cometh.
Yeah.
And they sit before thee as my people. And they hear thy words. But they will not do them.
And that be dudes in the truth too. Or if you're in the truth, you get told some shit, don't even do it. You know what I'm saying? Full of shit, man. Go ahead.
Come, but they will not do them.
Yeah, man.
For with their mouth they shew much love. But their heart goeth after their covetousness.
Yeah, man. You know? So the Lord is judging all of us. He's judging all of us. But primarily start with two-thirds, man. If you do come up here, you want to argue, you got something to say, you want to, you know, make it about what the hell you want to make it about instead of what it's about, man. You know. So don't Israel be not gathered, man. And then all that, that's not the true gathering. When we're gathered, Yahweh Shah gonna do it. You think it's gonna be any confusion and any, well, I think this and I think that. It ain't gonna be none of that. When that gathering happens, it's one accord, man. It's one accord, man. Real quick. Oh, give me Zechariah 14 now. We come back to that.
14:9.
What you got before you go there?
Isaiah 49.
I think, let me see what's left on that.
We get to verse 6. So I was going
Keep going. Keep going. After that. Hold on. Yeah, okay, come. Yeah. We're going to come back to it. You got it.
Who's Zechariah?
Yeah.
Call it against light.
14.
This is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 9. And the Lord Yahweh shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one Lord. In his name, one.
In his name, you got to read that right, brother. Come on, one more time. Come on.
Zechariah chapter 14 and 9. And the Lord Yahweh shall be king over all the earth.
Yeah, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, not Yahweh. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Come on.
In that day
Come on.
shall there be one Lord.
Yeah, because Yahweh ain't leaving the throne. It's going to be Yahweh Shah that brings this forth. Read the whole time.
Zechariah chapter 14 and 9. And the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai shall be king over all the earth.
Yeah, and these people going to see it, man. He going to come, and the Lord going to set that rulership up, man. Yahweh going to be up there on the throne, and Yahweh Shai down here with all the angels setting everything up. Yahweh not coming down here. Go ahead.
In that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one.
And his name one. And when you go into name, and what he stand for. And that's what they like to argue about, what the Bible actually talking about. Not even what it's actually talking about, but what they think it is. Well, I think you got your interpretation, brother, I got mine. Bro, it's one interpretation. It ain't no damn what you think, man. So what does that show you? That's Israel not being gathered. When we come together and we have communion, we here to teach you, you may stop, hear what we got to say, hear what we talking about, you might ask a question. That's what goes on. That's the no Israel be not gathered. Because when Israel is gathered, that's what's going to take place. Oneness. You see what I'm saying? We ain't up here doing that. Well, I think he's talking about this, brother. I think he's talking about this. I think he's talking about that. Well, his name got to be a higher Yeshaya, brother, because I was thinking that ain't gathered. You see what I'm saying? That's goddamn discombobulated, man. You know? So yeah, you go ahead. Let's go back to where you go. Say scattered. Yeah, exactly. It's still that's the scattering. That's right. You know, you scatter in more ways than more ways than just physically. Go ahead.
Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 32. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument.
Yeah. And that's why a lot of them will watch. You got a lot of Israelites that watch that stop. They're like, if it was hot, they could be up here. You know what I'm saying? Because this is like entertainment to G. A lot of people just watch this for entertainment. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you turn on the song because you just because you ain't, you know, you like either. Let me just play some music right now. Let me turn these brothers on. They be, you know, that's how Jake is, man. Go ahead.
It says, for they hear thy words.
See, they hear it. And they tell you that in Romans the 10th chapter. Have they not heard it? You know what I'm saying? You think those news gonna come and everybody ain't seen the video? You know what I'm saying? I ran across the man of the Lord, or since they tell you that we was the Israelites, you motherfuckers everybody gonna know, man.
It says,
look, everybody knows. Bro, everybody see us, man. There ain't no excuse. When the nukes hit this area, everybody that done rolled past this area when we was here, that's Jake right there. You think because she looking straight ahead, she don't see us? Get your ass out of here, man. Go ahead.
It says, for they hear thy words, but they do them not.
Yeah. And that's things that come and act like they listening.
God, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them.
Man, you're going to realize what was going on, what you wasn't doing. It was all, you know, all wasn't a figment of your imagination. It wasn't just entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And you should have been gathering. That's what you're going to realize. You got it.
Fine. This is Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 6. It says, and he said, sorry, let me turn that 5. Isaiah 49 and 5, it says, and now saith the Lord, that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him, though Israel be not gathered. Yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord.
Yeah, shall I be glorious? Because the scriptures tell you, let every man work out his own salvation with fear and trembling. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, let me get that real quick. 1 Corinthians 15 and 4. I think that is. Might be 14 and 5. 14 and 5. Jump to 15.
Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 5, it says, and now saith the Lord, that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him, though Israel be not gathered. Yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord.
You got it. Go ahead and bring that up, brother. Talking about you got it.
It's Philippians chapter 2, verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but not much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
You said, yeah, you look at every man work out his own salvation with fear and trembling. The scriptures also tell you let every man be convinced in his own mind, man. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, though they ain't listening, though you doing this and Israel don't be gathered, you can read that one time.
Con.
Go back to where you were. Go ahead. From the top of where you left off.
Con. It says, to bring Israel.
Call you at.
Con. It's Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 5. It says, and now saith the Lord that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him, though Israel be not gathered. Yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord.
Yes, shall I be glorious. It don't matter if people ain't listening. It don't matter if Jake don't get this right now, man. We're going to be glorious, man. And it's truth and sincerity, man. People know it ain't no sin, man. They just can't believe it. You know, big truth to look. You don't get the last laugh, man. Go ahead and bring that out, brother. You read that last one yet? Not yet. Go ahead, bro.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 10. Therefore, I endure all things.
Start at
This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9. It says, wherein I suffer trouble.
Yeah, wherein I suffer trouble, come on.
As an evildoer.
As an evildoer. People think we do the wrong thing. That ain't right, man. God love everybody, man. What was you talking about, man? You wasn't raised like that. Go ahead.
Even unto bonds.
See, even unto bonds. You gotta read that one more time.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and 9. It says, wherein I suffer trouble as an evildoer, even unto bonds.
See, even unto bonds. Some men gonna get rounded up for this. That's what it is. Come on.
But the word of the Most High is not bound.
Yeah.
Therefore,
yeah, you can't put the word of the Lord in slavery. You know what I'm saying?
God.
If you put me in slavery, I mean in a goddamn concentration camp, is that gonna change the word? The prophecy is getting ready to come to pass? No. Like if you lock all of us up, the prophecy is still gonna come to pass. You can't put the prophecy in shackles, man. All you doing is that right. That's it. You got it.
It says, therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Hamashiach Yahushai.
Yeah, now, despite all that, though, they be not gathered, so they may round us up. We enduring all things for the elect's sake. What's enduring all things? Yep, bearing our cross. That's it. We bearing our cross.
Making our bodies a living sacrifice.
Enduring this cold weather, man. You know what I'm saying? We enduring all things for the elect sake. You read that one time,
God. 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Hamashiach Yahushai with eternal glory.
So me personally, I'm not out here for nothing else but the elect's sake, right? You know, and to do this, go ahead. You got it.
Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 5, it says, and now saith the Lord that formed me from the womb to be his servant.
Jump to 6.
I ain't never finished it.
Keep going then.
It says, that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him, though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord, and my power shall be my strength. And he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob. And
it's a light thing, man. You know? It's a light thing compared to what was going to be given. You know what I'm saying? How much we going to be paid. You ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Really, you didn't do any damn thing. And the reality of the matter, give me Ephesians 2 and 8. Then we're going to get that Haggai.
God.
Go ahead.
It's Ephesians chapter 2 verse 8. It says, for by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of the Most High. Not of works.
Not of what?
Not of works. Lest any man should boast.
Yeah, man. Now don't get it twisted. You got to do the work, man. You see what I'm saying?
All right.
It's just a way to keep your ass humble. You know what I'm saying? When you really realize it. Because in all reality, it's like when you went to work. But if you got a easy job and they pay you more than your last job was paying you for double labor, yeah, you still working, but really you ain't doing nothing for that take compared to what you was just doing. You know what it really like, you know what I'm saying? You might make 1,000 every week or some shit, 2 weeks or something like that. And you had 2 times where you was able to get that off the so-called job, occupation. One is very hard, very rigorous. Cleaning toilets, mopping floors, you know what I'm saying? Arguing with people, answering phone calls, closing the place down. 1,000 a week, 1,000 every 2 weeks, right? Then the second joint, you just sit down at a desk all day. You just gotta be there, really. And everybody leave at 6, you gotta leave at 11. So really, you ain't doing nothing. But you still get the same, you ain't doing what you was just doing, but you still getting the same check. You see what I'm saying? So in that instant, that's when you're able to see, damn, when you get that check, I'm not even doing nothing for this. You see what I'm saying? That's how it's gonna be. when we get the reward, when the kingdom comes, when the Lord actually gives you spiritual powers, you're gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? Fuck around, just have the ball up, man, real quick. And fly away on some shit, you know what I'm saying? Run through a motherfucker real quick. You don't cry like, damn, I really got it. Like, I was a piece of shit, really. You know what I'm saying? You gave me this. Like, yeah, I was living highways. You know what I'm saying? But this, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you go ahead and bring that back out. You go ahead and finish.
It says, Isaiah 49 verse 6, it says, and he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant.
It's a light thing. You know? You gotta endure. You can't be out here all soft. Just because brothers ain't going hard don't mean you don't go hard. You gotta read up, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's just being real. There's nobody, yeah, you provoke one another to good works. But do you believe? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're doing this because all the other brothers doing it, you don't really believe. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got men that's able to go teach by themselves. You know? Who are you? But that ain't everybody's life. So don't, you know, let that, you know, get you. It's just, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, man. As much as you can. I'll say that. Because it's all scriptural what I'm saying. You got it.
Isaiah 49 and verse 6, it says, and he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob.
It's a light thing, man. You probably just got to be that kind. You know what I'm saying? Brother, you got to read. You know what I'm saying? You just, but yet, you on the side of salvation when all the destruction get ready to come through. You got the mark of exemption just for that. The brothers ball out. You know what I'm saying? Just to go back in the world, eat pork, and then they got their line and burnt with a damn hot ass hair and his cookies. Yeah. Damn simple ass niggas. Put some alcohol in their shit. Fanning their line and afterwards. It's simple as hell. Like, it's dope. Yeah, go ahead and finish.
It says, to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the preserved of Israel.
Yeah.
It says, and I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth. That's
it. It's Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Yeah, man. So you got men breaking it down, you got men reading, you got men that's just up here for support. You got men up here being edified. You know what I'm saying? You got all different parts of functioning that's supposed to be going on in the church, man. You got men that, you know, got faith that's more than others, but they would give some of that off, boost another brother. You know what I'm saying? That's how you need to be thinking. How can I help make the team better? But you got to know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like a motherfucker cut to the hole, you ain't even ask him. Here it is, the play we running this for everybody cloud in the hole. You like, I cut, because I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to. You didn't even see if that's what you could do to help. Okay, you trying to help, but you really wouldn't. But we just ran a play to clear everybody out the hole, because I'm going to isolate this dude, you see what I'm saying? So I can get past him. Why the fuck would you go to the hole and have another defender down there? And the nigga's 7 foot. So now my little ass got to get past this dude. He gonna leave him and probably jump out in front of you when I'm on my way to the hole. If I try to bounce past it to you, because he done jumped in front of you, you behind him now. But his arm's long as hell, so that's a steal.
Defeated the whole purpose.
Defeated the whole damn purpose. Well, I was trying to. Can't do that, man. You gotta know how to help this team, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have all things in consideration. You gotta know what guys like going, what guys don't like going. You don't give it to a guy that don't. He hates getting it in the corner. Why would you give him the ball in the corner? You're like, shoot, bro, shoot. Unless that's last option or something. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that. You know? This is like the Lord ain't gonna put brothers in position that he know ain't supposed to be breaking stuff down. If he breaking stuff down, he ain't gonna do it. Why would the Lord do that? You see what I'm saying? He knows his lot he gave you. That's like the thing about it. The coach ain't gonna draw up a play for a guy like, yo, you gonna bring the ball on court. Hey, what do you do? You gonna look at the coach like, coach, you know what I'm saying? You like, no, bring it up court. You know what I'm saying? We lose the game and stuff. That's how I go. That's how that shit look. You know? So yeah, man, it's a team effort, man. Gotta understand it. You know? It's like I ain't gonna expect nobody else. Matter of fact, quick example, give me Daniel 12:1.
This is Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, and at that same time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people.
Yeah, and at that time shall Michael stand up. Because the Lord ain't gonna expect nobody else to do that. You know what I'm saying? He said, at that time shall Michael stand up. You know? He ain't gonna expect Gabriel to do it. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna expect that, man. That's really the whole point. Like, yeah, they gonna come and do it. Y'all not expecting nobody else to play Michael role. You see what I'm saying? That wasn't given to him. He ain't gonna look at Michael to play somebody else's role. He's not gonna look at Michael to play his role. You know what I'm saying? He's like, that's like your house shot looking at Michael like, what you guys are doing? You know what I'm saying? Would you stain all your ranges? You know what I'm saying? What is you doing? Would you know what I'm saying? Would you wound the heads over many countries? Like, what is you doing? What you talking about, man? There it is, their team, and they, you gonna be doing this, like, he gonna be looking like, man, you your house shot. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? He gonna be looking like, what? And you Michael, what, you know? Why would I? That's why it's good to, play. You see, it's good things you guys learn from the world. You know, you can learn. It's good to have played team sports and stuff like that. You know, primarily basketball, because you can't talk like that on the field. In football, you know what I'm saying? Until there's like a break. The corners can't talk to the linemen. You know what I'm saying? If they too far out. You know how often the damn DBs talk to the linemen? You know what I'm saying? In the game. You know what I'm saying? Even in the damn game. Ain't in the game they don't even talk. On the court, everybody talking. Everybody. The center tell them all, the center tell them all shit. You know what I'm saying? The power forward tell them all shit. The small forward tell them all stuff. And they all know. And they get it done. You know? Because really the best teams that going to win is the best team that got the most camaraderie amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go back and watch LeBron James' high school team, St. Mary's, they wasn't like, they weren't all LeBron James. They had one LeBron, they had everybody else was good at what they did. But what made them so good and lethal together was because they understood each other. And they know how to play with each other. They don't want nobody stepping on nobody's feet. And all them dudes feel cool to this day. If they all go to the league, no. You know what I'm saying? But that's different. Don't use that in this reference. That'll be the only difference. If we win here, more than likely, the Lord save everybody. Save everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody believe here. Everybody know what they're supposed to do here. Matter of fact, give me that real quick. You just grab some? Yeah, give me that real quick. Let me go for a second.
This is Job chapter 4, verse 7. It says, remember, I pray thee, whoever perish be innocent.
If we playing the right way, we win. How the hell you gonna do us to eat a noodle? You know what I'm saying? That ain't how this goes, man.
Remember, I pray thee, whoever perish being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off?
Yeah, so you can't expect in this world. If I hope, the Lord might not save me. If you help him get it done, and that helped get the win, more than likely you're gonna be saved. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got many different parts. Everybody think they're supposed to be doing the same exact thing. That shit is stupid. You ain't built like that. You know what I'm saying? And you wonder why you don't succeed like that. You know? That's like you men can't be women. You got men out here trying to successfully be women. You know what I'm saying? It's like you leaving the club with the whole training. You try to switch in front of some bodyguard and he knock your ass out. But you still a man, so you fake athletic still. you dodge the punch, square up with him and shit. They're like, damn, these big ass shoulders. You know what I'm saying?
Bring your voice out.
Yeah, you gonna keep beat the bodyguard ass. You know what I'm saying? So that's what? That's a failed attempt at being a woman. That's not what you good at. You thought you was gonna win them over switching. You a whole man, bro. Then Shorty come past him. A real woman come past him. She switching. He get the number. He the gay ass Shorty, like, you know what I'm saying? He like, man, what the fuck? No, you good. Shorty, like, you know what I'm saying? You couldn't walk. That's where you failed at, because you thought you was gonna be able to successfully play a role that wasn't given to you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what happened. When all these like trannies, they be getting offended. If a little kid mistake you for being a man and you actually are one, how you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the world we living in, man. Everything out of order. Matter of fact, give me that real quick. 82 and 5, 82 and 4 song. You see what I'm saying? That's the world we live in right now, man.
If I can, I was just saying, I seen like an article, whatever. It's like these trannies, they be getting their ass beat. You know what I'm saying? Like constantly, you know, because ultimately they probably persuaded ones. You get to them, get put to death. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Was damn near want to beat your ass. Like you took my ass.
Nah, ain't no damn near. There's a lot of their ass. Rather, I know you right. You talking about specifically what you saying, but you know a lot of them trannies out here dying, man.
Oh God, that's it.
Putting their ass to death.
That was part of the truth.
You low key, it be dudes that, because you know our people. Let me say this the best way possible. Our people good looking people, and you got our people different shapes, different sizes, and you got just like you got amongst men, you got effeminate men. You see what I'm saying? And you might have a man like he damn near look like a woman. Now if he become a tranny, he definitely gonna look like a woman. You know what I'm saying? But you gonna always know, right? You see what I'm saying? Eventually. So you got it, brother. I don't even cut you off.
No, that's it. That's it. The article is pretty much going into like the fact these mugs in a high number, they getting like this just a high violence or mortality rate to them. Like they either getting beat up or like I said, they getting killed. You know, because they putting themselves in a position like that. You know what I'm saying? You're not no damn man. I mean no woman. It's a lie. You a man. You know what I'm saying? And you dealing with other men. You trying to hook up with other men. They find out you a man. You getting your ass. You know what I'm saying? You getting your ass beat up. You know, mugs getting off. You know, and that's what the article was going into.
Because you know, you got those little ass jakes that's real petite.
Right.
They hold men out here. You know what I'm saying?
Little as hell.
Now if that nigga dressed up, you see what I'm saying? Because what really make a woman look like a woman? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, her frame. And she's just pretty. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality. She, you know, good skin. Nigga dress up, you know what I'm saying? And this nigga ain't the most observant, you gonna get caught. You know what I'm saying?
Makeup shit. Look at this hair.
Man, every time I see a tranny, I know a tranny when I see one. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck how close she damn near got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna know, so don't think I'm saying that shit. But nah, it's real, because everybody ain't observant like that. You know? I done seen some good ones like, damn, you look like a woman, damn near. You know what I'm saying? That nigga.
That's a, he saw the worst with it. They all look the same.
Hell, I ain't no way no Edomite finna ever get me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't, if you really think about it, nobody's pretty as the so-called melanated woman. You know what I'm saying? Like you can, you know, because Jake, it's a bunch of different observations you start making after a while. You start noticing the Lord made woman head smaller than his. Like that's something I just noticed. All woman's head smaller than his. Like you can literally notice that shit. You know? And then they all got the little pinched up shoulders, like little neck. They get the little neck and shit. And then some, they don't be built like that. They be like swollen shit down there, like China from wrestling. Remember China? That's a whole woman. That show's by the spirit, because I just seen something came out today, on the way up there. Damn, one of the, a former WWF wrestler just came out to change. Crazy. This is like after we stopped watching it. We children. It's like WWE and shit.
Right.
Yeah. One of them ones just came out and straight on that. Go ahead, bring that up.
This is Psalm chapter 82, verse 5. It says, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
See that? Ain't nobody in their role, man. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Everything that was, if you was founded as a man, how do we get into a world where you can change that? How? You was born that. Zion becomes Zion. Yeah, it started with that shit. First, Jake, all women wouldn't go that far. They'd just become dykes. You know what I'm saying? That's before all that, because I remember the word used to be hermaphrodite.
Right.
That's what it used to be called. They had a few different words for it when we was shorties. And I used to always get them confused. But that shit was like seldom. That was rare. But it was like a new thing popping up. I remember that shit. Hermaphrodites. And it's a difference. And you had that was going on and liposuction.
Right.
That was like the thing. When nobody doing that type of stuff. When nobody going to get their nose redid and injections. Only thing that was going on during that time is white women was doing that shit.
Right.
They were trying to get breast reductions and take lard out of their ass. Their ass is too big there. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's how it used to be. Now everybody wants the opposite. We see everything out of course. You know? Because you would be used to be made fun of that. If your butt looks big. Because you look goofy back then. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody was showing their figure off. So if somebody had a big butt, that shit would look goofy. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't like it wasn't a fetish like that. I don't fuck it. Now everybody's figure is beauty. You know what I'm saying? The bigger the better. You got it.
I was gonna say, you know, Muslims were in the same clothes. You know, clothes would be made like that to be all, you know, just revealing or whatever.
Right.
Females supposed to walk around with leggings. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's all new. That shit just started. That shit started when the iPhone 4 came out.
That's real.
Leggings. The Edomites was doing that. Then Jake take everything like Esau do, and they flip it. It's like when Jake started wearing polo. That was Edomite shit. Yeah. Edomites at country clubs was wearing that shit. With the little cardigans and all that. And Jake took it over. Looking like Young Joe came with that shit, talking about showed the new black boy, white boy swag. That's what it was called. Come on. He was the one who really took that polo shit to the next level. Him and Kanye.
You think about it like, you know, go back to like the Fresh Prince, you know, Carlton. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why that was the thing. Because we don't do that.
Exactly.
That's why Carlton, his character was the thing. Okay, that's what I do. Yeah, but everything out of course, man. So you can't expect they get offended because the bodyguard beat your ass. Because you in your head you so twisted. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, you
gonna hit me, bro. If you don't fix your voice, and then you would start like Bob, kill you out here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Why would you hit a woman? The voice start coming out. Yo, I'm about to kill this nigga. I'm gonna kill this nigga. Huh?
Send back to the spirit
world.
Yeah.
That's a fucking demon. He gotta go, man.
Go back to the spirit world.
You don't suffer no person like that to fucking. I'm serious along it. Go ahead.
I was saying, studs, they women, they be trying to fight. They be trying to fight men, but then once they ask you, they start trying to act like a woman again. Oh, you hit me, bro.
They got too much masculinity in them.
Well, man. So you can't expect, you know, if that don't go right there, you can't expect for somebody to be like, yo, you out of position. You see what I'm saying? Yo, that's off. If I see a brother with motherfucker come out here with his left shoe on his right shoe, his right shoe on his left, I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, bro, you need to switch them. He's like, no, my you know what I'm saying? My toes switch with the night.
It's cool right to me.
Yeah, that's the world we live in. But that's the whole point, not to get our group, everything out of course and everything out of order. You know what I'm saying? So you can't expect things that, you know, go here to not look at it to be such. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna say something? No. But yeah, that's that, man. Go ahead and bring out these points.
I got through what I had to go, man. This is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 16. It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding?
Give me Isaiah 2. Isaiah 2 and like 16. Can you see? Jump up. Keep going. Keep going. Jump down.
This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil.
Yeah, and that's the fucking shit we living in, man. Going for the punishment place. You know?
And the wicked for their iniquity.
And then you got people who will argue with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, it's a free country. And then the niggas always be saying that homo shit. Talking about some, I ain't got nothing against gay people. Like, bro, quit trying to be politically correct, man. How you out here trying to call somebody out for being low key? Like a nigga be like, yo, that nigga, he swing that way. I ain't got nothing against gay people though.
Right. Well,
that
nigga, real quick.
But that nigga, you know what I'm saying? He really that. You know what I'm saying? I just got mothers trying to. I don't like mothers that try to be under the closet. Like, bro, if we don't get that wicked ass shit out of here, man, talking some, I ain't got nothing against gay people.
Rest in judgment.
Yeah, man. That's a respectable person, man. Your ass wicked as hell. You got it.
God, Isaiah chapter 13 and 11. And I will punish the world.
See the world out of court. See how her hair covered? That's the Hebrew Israelite. She got goddamn pants on. Hebrew Israelite woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But her damn, she got pants on. But
God.
goofy as hell.
And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity.
Yep.
And I will cause the arrogancy.
Ain't no woman. Look at that, man. There's no woman. A man's supposed to wear pants. Why is women wearing pants? That shit is retarded. That's how you know the damn devil was setting this up to be a damn flaming ass world. You know what I'm saying? He was creating that environment. Look, bro, everybody got pants on. You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't have men with long hair. But you have women with long hair. It's supposed to be a distinction. You know what I'm saying? You know, men's supposed to be hard, women's supposed to be fluff and softy. I say softy. Fluff and soft. Fluffy and soft. You know? Women's voice supposed to be less bass. A man's voice supposed to have bass. It's clear distinction all the way around the world. A man got hair on his face. A woman does not. So what is Esau really? A man gonna have no hair on his face. He tell everybody to wear pants. You know what I'm saying? What is this shit? You know what I'm saying? Nigga fucking, they are natural race of these people, man. The goddamn homos, man. That's exactly what they are, naturally. That man none of them politicians got a lick of hair on their face, man. That shit is crazy. You got women walking around with pants. You know what I'm saying? She can't even, her figure don't even fit the pants. You know?
Every Jake that you see in movies, like they have their face always smooth. Like they make sure their face is smooth for all the movies that they be in.
Yeah, there's a piece of. What's up, man? Goddamn double, man. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 13 and 11. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
Man, he gonna lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Because you have a nigga screaming this whole world haughty, man. Like, when a law get passed that works in like a favor for the wicked, necks go forth like this. You know what I'm saying? All the gay people come out. Now you got, I seen wicked ass Jakes come up to brothers' camp and start twerking in front of them. Like dead ass. That's hardiness. And they do it so flamboyant because they really believe they can do whatever they want to do. You see what I'm saying? Give me that real quick. Proverbs 29. Let's see. You see? Jump to 12. No, that's in 16. Go ahead.
God, this is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 16. It says, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases.
Yeah, that's one. You see? So when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, man. You know, people get, this nigga already hardy. So all the people that was waiting for somebody to like step, you know what I'm saying, to finally say something to like, ooh, everybody just come out. You know what I'm saying? Now this country is so LGBT driven. You got Jakes that was always feeling weird. You know what I'm saying? They just get flamboyant with their weirdness. They just come out. So where they go, it's so far now to where they take it even a step further. This nigga Biden told us so he's gonna give LGBTQ protections. So how you think these gay people gonna really get, man? They about to be real flamboyant. You know what I'm saying? A nigga's gonna be really, you know what I'm saying, switching some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like switching. You know what I'm saying? That's that hardiness, man. Like you really think, basically the devil's trying to tell, basically what he's saying with that order is, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do.
They gonna be provoking mugs.
That's what that is, provoking mugs. As soon as that came out, you got trainees in the military, man. You gonna have men literally walking in the woman's restroom. Cause you know the women that take their sons, you know what I'm saying, in the witness room when they children. You know what I'm saying? The little boy gonna see that's enough right there. But the little boy see the man come in, right? Cause they even understand that.
They see, just like you said, like they see that. You a whole man. You can't hide that. You know what I'm saying?
What you doing in here? I know I'm in here. What you doing in here?
Right.
And they do that shit just so they can do some. I seen some horrible shit, man. This shit crazy as hell, man. That nigga Joe Biden, man. That nigga something else.
The very first thing this one had to do is crazy, man.
Joe Biden. Yeah, it's gonna go down, man. There's another one too. You read that again.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 16. It says, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous shall see their fall.
You see that? Give me it says on every side. Like the song of Proverbs, like the wicked are exalted. Men come out of it. Basically like the freaks come out. Come out of it. Type shit. I was in songs. Alright, keep going. Yeah, that's it. Alright, 12 8.
This is Psalms chapter 12, verse 8. It says, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted.
See that? Read that one time.
Psalm chapter 12, verse 8. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted.
So you got wicked people everywhere when you got somebody that's wicked in rulership. They just come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you turn the lights off and your house already infested with roaches. That's when them bugs come out, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we at. We in a house with no lights. That's already infested. You know what I'm saying? So when we go away, when the truth stop coming out, you see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, give me that real quick. Psalms 94:16.
This is Psalm chapter 94, verse 16. It says, who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Yeah. Give me Philippians 2 and 14. Go ahead.
Philippians chapter 2, verse 14. Do all things. Philippians 2 and 15 says that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shall shine as lights in the world.
Because the world darkness. You see what I'm saying? Give me that real quick. Give me Psalms. You get it, brother. Give me Psalms. Let the brother get it. Psalms. Not Psalms. Isaiah 60. 60 and 1.
This is Isaiah 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for that light is come, and the glory of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is risen upon thee.
See, once again, come on. Keep on.
For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth.
See, darkness has covered the earth. So what are we doing? We're shining right now. Because why? It's darkness, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the Lord raised, the men up to bring this truth back out. Because shit was going to get really bad. Imagine if the truth wasn't going out for all these years. Like, at all. No type of condemnation, rebuke, or nothing. The devil would have went way further. You know what I'm saying? With us calling them out, they be slow to do shit a little bit of times. That's why they take videos down and they ain't go another route. You know what I'm saying? Because we hold y'all accountable for the shit. We are a reminder of God. You see what I'm saying? A nigga probably finna go hit the block right now and he ride past us. Even if he going through it, his conscience is there. You know what I'm saying? So we give you that reminder, that accountability, which is what we was going into the 1 week. Give me that real quick. I think that's Romans 8, the highlighter. Romans 8 said my sin. It says my sin. I forgot how it is. You know what I'm talking about? The scripture, like that. Pretty much we highlight the sin. It's alright, so. Let me read that one time, brother. Verse 2.
Isaiah 60, verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, shall rise upon thee.
Yep. And meaning what? We're going to have the word, you see what I'm saying? We're going to have a reminder of what's right and what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And when we bring that out, pretty much, like the scripture say, and pretty much when we out, we make sin more noticeable. You see what I'm saying? Like sin already going on, but pretty much so-called Latino. You Latino? You so-called Latino?
Partially, but I was never really raised in a Latino household. I mean, I'm a quarter Mexican, but frankly, I was raised white. I consider myself Caucasian, but
That's what your dad is. What is your
my dad is Irish and Mexican. My mom is Assyrian.
Oh, okay.
You know.
So your dad, you ever met your granddad?
No, unfortunately not. He stayed overseas from Iran.
In Mexico? Or
Iran, so that'd be my granddad on
Oh,
my mother's
Iran.
side. On my father's side, I'm not sure. I never met him. My dad left when I was very young.
So would you think your dad's more Mexican or Irish?
It's hard to say. I never met the man. I don't know really much anything about him other than stories.
Well, we come out, I seen this called to eye.
Yeah.
That's the reason I said something to you. So pretty much, we're in the end of the last days, and this was declared to happen, before it all took place. America in the Bible. America is in the Bible under many aliases.
I've heard, yeah.
Yeah,
I've
code
heard
word is daughter of Babylon, Nineveh, etc., right? And he said he's going to, the creators believe in God.
I do, yes.
Now everybody got their, feelings about the Bible, but that's because, only certain men are set up to teach it, who he gives the spirit to. So pretty much, when you read it, it tell you that all the things that's befalling this place right now was written to happen. Destruction is coming to this place. So if you see on the bottom of this chart, that's the skyline. Because America's going to be nuked with nuclear fire. People don't build nukes for no reason to not use them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That was foretold. The Lord set these people up to create these things to amend the wrongdoing of people when it's all said and done. That's how he's going to right the wrong in this place.
And I have felt before too, though. That's a lot of people get confused with these books, these words from God, especially if they've never given, the initiation or that spirit to be able to interpret it properly.
Yeah, 34 and 6. Yeah, but that's what it says. You see out of the book and read it. It says, so for pretty much the people that's written to be saved out of it, this is also declared in the Bible, were the Israelites. I'm the only people, right? And the Israelites today, they are being hid under aliases known as so-called Mexican, so-called black, so-called Negro, so-called African American at the same time, so-called Puerto Rican, so-called Latino, Native American Indian, them the Israelites. Because when they founded this country, the so-called white man, they found Hebrew artifacts over here. It's a rock in Los Lunas, New Mexico, in the United States that has the 10 Commandments in Paleo Hebrew, the ancient Paleo Hebrew.
I don't know if I heard about that one, but I've definitely heard there's, not to say that that's wrong, I just haven't personally heard about it, but I've definitely heard that we've found more and more artifacts over here about people coming over here earlier and things they shouldn't have really been able to know about if they had never heard any of that word over from the Middle East. Like, my family's like, my main family, my mother's side, they're all from the Middle East, Iran, like Cradle of Life over there, and that's where we all came from. And my name goes back to Persia, my last name.
That's on your mom's side though, right?
Yeah, right.
See, I'm going to give you one thing before you leave, and I'm going to tell you something. Read that real quick. I'll give you that last. In the Bible, give me Numbers 1 to 18. Just so you'll notice.
Yeah.
If you plant an apple seed in some soil, what's going to come out?
Apple tree?
If you plant that same apple seed in China, what's going to come out?
Apple tree.
Same as if you would have planted in Africa too, right?
Right.
Men carry the what? The seed, the sperm. A woman does not determine the race or gender of a child.
Right.
All she do is affect the looks.
Okay.
That's according to the Bible. This is how the Israelites do it. God's people. You know about the Israelites? You ever heard of them? Yeah.
This is Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month.
The Israelites, come on.
And they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers.
Because the man carried the seed. That's why when you read in Genesis, it tells you about the seed.
Right, all the genealogies from everybody father to son. Right.
And because men are compared to seed and trees and fruits. It's all symbolism. All the Bible is coded in poetry and different symbolism. That's how the Lord keeps the evil from knowing what's going on, so he can keep them where he needs to be destroyed.
Have you ever considered, though, if I can just ask you, so even if you plant that same seed anywhere and grow that apple tree, it means nothing without the womb of the earth to let it grow and prosper, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But now what if the soil's tainted in one spot and not in another? You got that same apple seed, You got different soil here, different soil there.
Right.
It's kind of, I don't know, to me at least, there's two sides to the coin at least, right? Because even though you could grow that apple seed anywhere,
Right.
how that tree grows and the way it looks and the way that fruit tastes at the end of it, right?
That's it.
That all has to do with something about where it was planted and how it was taken care of.
That's right. So, but it's still an apple though. See that?
It is.
See that?
But
That's all
you
we
could
saying.
have a sour apple.
That's
You
right.
could grow a sweet apple.
That's right.
You could grow a ugly, fucked up looking apple. You could grow a
Look at
beautiful
what?
looking apple.
Look at what?
Ugly, fucked up looking apple.
Look at what? Apple. See?
Right,
That's
right. But
it.
I'm just saying, you have the apple, but it's those other little things
Yeah, I get you.
that come along that change, that make
That's right.
them small differences. It's still an apple, right? But it's
Right.
not the same apple everywhere.
And I'm gonna throw you something too. That's why God, He didn't want the Israelites mingling their seed.
Right.
Like if you been an Israelite man, you could deal with any woman you want. But the Israelite man was never to make anybody besides an Israelite woman their wife. Because you know, honey, I want to go here tonight. If her customs is of so-called Chinese people and you're a Hebrew man, the child is going to be conflicted. You're going to get you will usually get a normal apple if you had the Hebrew man and the Hebrew woman. But now that you got Hebrew man and Chinese woman, you got a sour apple now. You see what I'm saying? You got a conflicted apple. It's still an apple. It's still a Hebrew child, but the Hebrew child is conflicted. It's going to look different. It's going to think different, and it's going to be torn into two places.
Some
But it's
people
still
would
an
say those differences, though, is what's important, because that's how we come up with new ideas or whatever to move everything along, right?
That's right.
To get a little closer to the goal at the end, right?
Yeah. See what people think. They think this Bible is simple, but it speaks to all those type of things. That's why the Lord, His people is the Hebrew Israelites, right? But He made all the other people too. Why? Because they have a purpose. See that? So that nothing you saying, if it's right, we're gonna combat against. It's just the truth. It's just how it go together. So I'm gonna give you one thing before you leave, bro.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just gotta catch a train, man. Yeah,
Yeah, give you one thing before you leave. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 6. It says, the sword of the
No,
Lord.
seek ye out of the book. 16. Seek ye out of the book. That's it.
Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 16, it says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord.
Out of what book?
Out of the book of the Lord.
The book. Come on.
And read.
And do what?
And read.
It's only one book. It's only one way. You see, everything we sitting up here saying, you see, we pretty much have a decent conversation. Yeah. It's all filtered. You're going to get the 100% truth from the scriptures, but you got to deal with the men of the Lord He set up with. Right. And then once you set up, you teach somebody else. And the reason why it's important for you to know this, because you could be an Israelite. America getting ready to be destroyed. The so-called white man finna be in the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. If you can look it up on Sweden, whenever you get a chance, put in Sweden microchip. People in Sweden, they getting a microchip in their hand right now.
I have heard that.
You see that? It's coming here. It's gonna be mandatory.
Appreciate the conversation,
All right.
gentlemen. Hope to see you around.
All
Y'all
right,
have a
man.
good one. Stay warm.
All right, back to it. Matter of fact, bring that back out. 2 Timothy 2 and 10.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 10. Therefore, I endure all things for the elect's sake.
So he could have been there the elect. You just never know. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only reason why those handles like that. You know? Because all we doing is fishing for the elect. Y'all was shot. Matter of fact, give me Matthew 10. Matthew 10. Matthew chapter 10.
Verse.
Matthew like 8. Jump to 5 and start at 11.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 5. It says, these 12 Yahweh shall sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
Nothing for the truth, nothing against the truth, but for the truth.
For 11. Matthew chapter 10, verse 11. And into whatsoever city or town ye shall enter, inquire. Inquire. Who is in it is worthy. Who in it is worthy.
See that? That's what we do. he was looking, so he got stopped. You know what I'm saying? The Lord stopped his ass. You see what I'm saying? Man's going are the Lord. How then can a man understand his own way? Then he sent them up his way. But he pretty much, he couldn't deter nothing that was standing on out there. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you still did what? You proved this to be true. It could be a sour apple. It could be. See, people always want to come up against the Lord, and he could be a Jake. Just off the spirit. You don't know your father. You so-called Mexican. You got sense. I can see you got Edomitish ways, but you more than likely could still be an apple tree, man. Because he found every reason to oppose what he knew was 100% said in the scripture and what makes sense. All you kept saying was it was an apple. Exactly. Regardless of what condition it's in, bro. It's still an apple. So that means can't nobody confound what the Lord says it is, man. Even took you to the thought of Genesis, and you knew about that. But what did he do? What is a fucked up looking apple or a sour apple or the soil? It's two sides of the coin. Ain't no two sides of the coin. It's still an apple. As proven. So I ain't got to do no more than that, man. That little simple ass example, people can't confound. You see what I'm saying? If you plant an apple seed here, what's going to come out? They got to come with some creativity just to still prove that simple example to stand true. Can't nobody has yet to this day to be confounded. So I have yet to hear somebody say an oil's going to come up. You can talk about the soil. You can do all that all day long. But what's going to come up? I don't care how the soil was, what condition it's in. What's going to come up, man? So this truth unbeatable, man. Go ahead.
It's the 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth.
You can't do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. Meaning, everything you said went on to just further prove what we up here standing on. That we got the truth. You niggas out here talking about mixed people exist and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? Only thing that damn woman gonna do is affect how that child think and act and look. You see what I'm saying? That's about it, man. You know? Now, spiritually, that's why it's so seriously. It's so serious. Because physically it's still whatever the seed is. But spiritually, you see what I'm saying? That's what the Lord looking for. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's a bad thing to have your kids with these other women. Because if that child gets embedded in his spirit that way, that ain't of his lineage, especially if he's a Hebrew child, well really only if he's a Hebrew child, Hebrew Israelite child. That's all we're talking about. That's all that's relevant. Hey, fuck. If the Lord don't pull him out of that. But that's what you're breeding. You're breeding a Devin Booker. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker, an Israelite, but his mama whole ass white lady. You know what I'm saying? And that nigga cold. You breeding a Lonzo Ball. You know what I'm saying? That's what you breeding. But really not, because they don't act like Edomites. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about the ones that act like Blake Griffin. You know what I'm saying? Blake Griffin, he kind of plays both sides of the fence. That's he, you know. Like he a nigga, so-called nigga, but he be on his Edomite shit when he wants to be. Because it's like a fake luxury. Right. You know? Well, nigga, first thing a nigga tell you, well, my mom's white, so I can't be racist. Yes, you can.
That's logic.
Right. Kind of logic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, logic be on that shit. His damn woman. That nigga with his baby as an Edomite hand. You know what I'm saying? That nigga whole Judite.
His dad was Marcus Everett.
His dad a whole Judite. Regular nigga. You know? Regular so-called nigga. You know? Yeah, go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 11. And into whatsoever city or town ye shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and there abide till you go thence.
And there abide until you what?
Go thence.
See? So he's gonna be here to the Lord come with another spot. Come with his next place. Inquiring of his deeds worthy. See that nigga, the nigga that just walked past, he ain't had nothing. He did have something to say to him. We out here for you. I ain't have to stop you and be like, yo, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a radar. Because either way, if someone's out here with signs and your ass is on here, you see what I'm saying? Even if I don't say nothing to you directly, I'm still directly saying something to you. You see what I'm saying? That's why it ain't no excuse. I don't know your goddamn name, so I'm supposed to jump in front of you. Word tell me in the scripture where it say, grab them and put them in the headlock. Right. You know what I'm saying? So the most I can do to go out my way is a way. Hey. But I'm basically doing that. We crying aloud. We sparing not. We lifting up our voice like a trumpet. But dude, he stopped and looked. You know? So, he gonna be fucked if you don't, you know. One, if you ain't an Israelite, you going into slavery. Two, if you're an Israelite and you don't turn into this soup, you gonna eat the meat. It's that simple. The word of the Lord gonna kill you before that. It's something fast. That's what's gonna happen. Or you just take you in your sleep. You know, you wasn't really, that was a judgment. You really wasn't an issue. I was just taking you in your sleep, you know. You ain't getting no shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. You ain't getting no power or nothing. You just taking you out. That's how a lot of people gonna die like that too. A lot of people gonna get brutally murdered. That's still existing right now. That could die tomorrow or in the next 5 minutes. Somebody just died in their sleep. You know what I'm saying? They ain't get the truth. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna do that too. For those of you that don't need like that, those natural causes, ooh, how's it gonna happen? How you gonna check out? Anything's possible. A pole can fall on your ass. You can get a building, that shit can collapse. You just never know what can happen, man. You might go through a windshield. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker might be at the mill working. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. You go to a club, they start shooting, you get hit. You trying to help your daughter fight or some shit, you get stabbed, bleed out. You know what I'm saying? Your ass fuck around, eat some shit, and get a stomach virus. You know what I'm saying? Bacteria just eat your stomach away. Lord can take you out any way, man. You might get a toothache and your lymph nodes swell up. The Lord cut your breathing off. That's what was damn near happening to my ass when my tooth was effed up. I couldn't even breathe. You know what I'm saying? Damn near. How much more? You know, one of these people. Lord have mercy on my ass. I was fucked up. You got it out.
Matthew chapter 10. Keep on going to read the same.
No, that's it. You got it. Go ahead and bring that Haggai 1 and 6 out. You got it. Yeah, the Haggai 1 is starting 3.
Haggai 1, verse 3. Then came the word of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Haggai the prophet, saying, is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses, and this house lie waste? Now therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways.
That was the point that you got.
Read that again.
Yeah, you can really read the whole thing, but you got it. Whatever you want. That's what you time.
Yeah, you start from the top and you can read through. What you get ready, dude?
Yeah. Time.
Haggai 1, verse 3. Then came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet, saying, is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses, and this house lie waste? Now therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. Ye have sown much, and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you.
Let me speak on that real quick. So pretty much, he says it's time for you to lie, man, your sealed house, and this house lie waste. What house? What house? This house, man. The house of the Lord, man. This house ain't built up, big fucked up. Taking they sealed houses, as we were reading earlier. That was the scripture that was linked up to what we read earlier, man. You know? Taking they hide themselves. That's what you read. They hide themselves behind those walls. You know what I'm saying? They put up at home drinking hot chocolate and bullets and shit like that. You know? So the Lord says it's time for you to be in your sealed houses, and this house lie waste. They think they done made it, but the house of Israel, you know what I'm saying? It's finished.
Yeah, so
It's finished. You know? Niggas ain't concerned with that. Niggas think that you got a damn porcelain driveway. Everything's gonna be alright, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, our people, you know, Jake, Israelites in the world lost, like they really believe, you know, that everything is okay. You know what I'm saying? We got a new president, you know what I'm saying? And these people, I seen people asking the president to be nice to us. Like it's crazy. Like people really, they're going off their own imagination pretty much. And it's like the scripture's saying, like pretty much we got work to do. It ain't time to be sitting here with our feet up in sealed houses. We're not in those times yet. You know what I'm saying? That's why we come out here and work. But you know, the further understanding that is, you know, Jake just not gonna get it. You know, our people, they destroyed. They gone. You know what I'm saying? It's really very, very, very little hope for those people that's out there. You know, that's not getting this, that don't get this. You know what I'm saying? It's sure destruction. Like these people, these Jakes, they put their hope into, you know, this presidency and, you know, all the facets of the world, you know, like they really believe in this system, right? This system that's made to destroy us, and we keep participating in it, you know. We not participating, but you know, Jake sitting at home right now in those sealed houses, they every day participate in this system that's made to destroy us, and that's what it's doing. That's what it's doing exactly to us. Was it more on the high gas?
I got 1, verse 6. Ye have sown much, and bring in little.
So Jake, we so much. We do all the work. You know, we work in the fields. We work the worst jobs, but we still at the bottom. We bring in the least. Keep on going.
Ye eat, but ye have not enough.
Right. So, you know, simple. We eating, but you know, there's still more to get. You know, we're not hungry because we eating for. We eating BS. We eating bullshit. But ultimately, you know, it's just going in and saying like we do all these things and we're not fulfilled because most of us we're not doing what we should be doing. You know, and that's, you know, doing you know, the will of the Lord, being in His truth.
Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none worn.
Right. So you might look the role, you might look, you know, nice, you might look like you surviving, you might look like you made it come up, you might have the Porsche in the driveway, you might have, you know, the most nicest wardrobe, decked out clothes, you know, all the Jordans in your closet, but it's to no avail. None of that shit can save you. You know, when the nukes come, you know, America destroyed, none of that shit's gonna uphold you. The only thing that's gonna uphold you, you know, is His word. The words of the Most High. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
It says, and he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes.
Right. So you going to work, and you work all day, every day. You know, Jake, you work all day, every day, the worst jobs. And you come home, you gotta pay bills, right? You ain't got no money put up for yourself. You know, our people, we far behind. You know, the standard. You know, of this country. You know, and it was put that way purposely. But it said that we basically putting our money into a bag with holes in it. We can't hold on to the money. You know what I'm saying? So we constantly working. Jake always working. Jake constantly has to keep going. They on a damn hamster wheel, if you will. You know, we on a hamster wheel, constantly working, trying to keep up with, you know, this world, this society that's made to keep us doing so. You know, that wants to see us on the hamster wheel. So you working hard, you working all the worst jobs just to see your money, you know, not do anything. It's going into a bag of holes. Right? There's nothing here for us that's going to work for us. But this truth, but being in this, but being a part, you know, of the truth, you know, and doing what we should be doing. And that's us enduring. Pretty much, we got to endure in this truth until the very end, because there's nothing here for us. Because we're going to keep working, and we're going to keep constantly being put at the bottom. You know. Matthew, I'm gonna go back into the light. We the light. What you want? Matthew chapter 5 and 14. What you want? You talking about what part? We are the light to the world.
Oh yeah, go ahead. You could bring the what's the call you brought back out? The one you brought out earlier. The Philippians. It's one in Matthew too, but this is Philippians 2 and 15. Philippians 2 and 15. We start out. Matthew 6.
So before the dude claim we were sort of going into like we the light of this world. That's all we hear. We out shining. But you can bring that up.
Yeah, this is Philippians 2 verse 15. That ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation.
See, we're in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation. You know that, and that's what the last scripture was going through. The crooked and perverse nation is America, right? And that's us. You know, us Israelites. We out here. You know, we pretty much, like I said, we the batteries in this nation. We keep everything running. Keep on reading.
Among whom ye shine as lights in the world.
And that's among whom we shine as lights in the world, because, you know, we got the light, we got the truth. We the only people, you know, that has this truth, right? So we come and we shine as a light. That's our whole purpose, is to come and shed light on the darkness. You know, we calling out the fact that, you know, we making money just to put it in a bag full of holes, right? We come out and we point out all these things. We point out the truth, because we're inside a crooked and perverse nation, and it's dark. Everything is darkness, because there's no truth. So we come out as lights, and we profess the truth. We profess the will of the Most High in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai. Brother has some. Get that.
This is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 14. Ye are the light of the world.
Ye being us Israelites, right? You so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native American Indians. We the light of the world. That's what He is. You keep reading.
Con. It says, a city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
Right. That city being on the top of a hill, like you're gonna see it. It's like you know, these big buildings. You can see huge buildings from anywhere. It can't be hid. It's not, you know, it's not put in darkness. You don't build a city on top of a hill for it to be hidden. It's put it up there to be shown and to be seen, right? You keep on reading, brother.
Con. It says, neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel.
You wouldn't light a candle and put it under something. You don't hide a candle. Just like that city on top of the mountain or the hill. That city's put there to be seen. Just like if you light the candle you're going to use it for its light, you know, so that light isn't going to be hidden. You can't hide the light, right? Keep on going.
It says, but put on a candlestick.
Right? You put it on a candlestick, right? And that's because it needs to be seen. But go ahead.
It says, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Let your light so shine before men.
And that house is going into you know, all the 12 tribes of Israel, all of us Israelites. So that light is meant to be shined upon the house, right? And we out here, we searching for the elect. We're searching for the elect of Israel, of the house of Israel. So, you know, our light is to be shined upon the house, and we're out looking for the elect of the house.
It says, let your light so shine before men.
Right, before men. Go ahead.
That they may see your good works.
Right, so you see our good works. That's why we not, you know, we not hiding doing so. We come out and we hit the highways and byways. We're out in a place where, you know, there's light. There's we're to be seen. You know, we're here. You know, with signs. We're raising our voice. We want to be. We're being seen. We're not hiding. We're out in the open. You can read that part again for me,
God says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works.
All right. And this is the good work, you know? We're doing the work. We're doing the work, we're doing the righteous works that we're supposed to be doing, right? You keep on reading, bro.
God. It says, and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Right, see? And we're doing this to glorify our Father, which is in heaven, Yahweh. And ultimately, we're doing this, you know, to seal our spots in this thing, you know, because ultimately we just glorifying the Father, man. We come out here and we do the work, we glorify the Father, and we're playing out His will. Is there any more on there? All right.
That's it.
That's it.
This is Psalms 119 and 105. It says, thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path.
So thy word, thy word, you know, that's the word of these scriptures. It says a light unto my feet, and our feet, you know, that's going into, you know, our pretty much the direction we're going. Our direction, and also you know, us staying stable and enduring in this thing, right? And then it said there's a lamp to my feet and a light. Then keep you stable.
It says, and a light unto my path.
And the light onto our path, because you know our path is leading to a certain destination, right? And that destination that we all trying to get to is the kingdom. That's why we come out and work, because we're chasing the kingdom ultimately. Therefore, we walk in this light, and we're looking for the elect. We're searching for the elect. We're trying to lead the other righteous men of our nation into the kingdom. Get Matthew 7 and get the 7 and 13 straight gate.
Yeah. Matthew chapter 7 verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Right. So that light that we following is ultimately to lead us into that straight gate. You know, that straight gate, which is that straight gate is leading to our ultimate destination. You know, which is the kingdom. And then it went on to say, read that again. I select.
Matthew 7 and 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
See, that wide gate and that broad way is going to lead you to destruction. That's death. That's you know, that's you not achieving life. You know, ultimately it's death. You keep on reading.
Con. It says, and many there be which go in thereat.
See, there's gonna be many people that's gonna follow the darkness pretty much on into that way. It's a death. You keep on going.
Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
That narrow and straight is gonna lead you on to life. Ultimately, you know, the straight gate. The straight gate is gonna lead you on to the kingdom. That's the direction that we wanna be headed, you know. So ultimately, you know, we're all here for, you know, the purpose of enduring and leading ourselves into the kingdom, you know, and we do that pretty much by being legs. We are being legs. So like. And I say we ultimately do this because we understand that this is the only way. There's only one way. There's not many ways that's going to lead us. I can't even say many. There's only one way that's going to lead us the direction that we need to go. All the other paths are destruction for us. You know, and that's why we do what we do. That's why we work the way we work. That's the reason why we gather and we do the work. It's because we all got a common goal in mind, you know, which is ultimately to endure, you know, this current situation. You know, it's an enter in that straight gate into the kingdom. Right. That's what Yahweh said first. You know, he said seek the kingdom first, and all the other stuff that we want is going to be added onto us. So we realize, like, basically there's no other option for us. We gotta hit this gate. We gotta keep on our direction and stay in tune with what we're trying to do, you know, and not be concerned with the world, not be concerned with, you know, all of the pretty much everything in the world that's going to blind you, because we ultimately know our goal and we ultimately know the path that's going to take to reach our goal. And on this way, it's not going to be the things of the world. It's going to be, you know, putting our minds on the things that's up above, right? Not carnality. You know, we're not chasing carnal things. We don't want what the world wants. We gave that up because we're chasing what we understand is to come. So for now, you know, we leave our mortal thoughts behind. We leave that behind, and we're chasing something more. You got something, brother?
This is Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33. 32.
Yeah, you can start at 33.
Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33, it says, but seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Right, so it says seek ye first. That's what you want to do first. Seek ye first. Read that again. So like
Matthew chapter 6 and verse
33.
31. Yeah. Matthew chapter 6 verse 31, it says, therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or wherewithal shall we be clothed?
So we left all of those thoughts, you know, of the carnal mind behind. We're not thinking about all these things because we know with our mind being focused on this one path that's going to take us there, all these things that we need, the Lord is going to take care of it, right? We're not concerned with, you know, how good or how well, or what we want. We just concerned with what's to come. Yeah. You keep on reading.
Con. It's Matthew 6 and verse 32. It says, "For after all these things do the Gentiles seek, for your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things."
You say that's the things that the Gentiles seek, and that's the people that's not, part of this. Like, they're not part, of gaining what we have to gain. So they seek all those things. We got it.
Right mind.
That's not the right mindset.
A part of the right mind.
They're not exactly. Thank you. They're not a part of the right mindset. Their mindset can be the world, because they're not. They're not all written to inherit what we're written to inherit. They're not written to inherit this kingdom. So we can't have minds like them. We have to.
No, they're not necessarily. They're not a part of the right mindset. So that could be anybody. That could be Jake or the ones that also are not inherited. Gentile ain't just non-Israelite. That's right too. That anybody that's not, like I said, the right mindset. These are the people that's not a part of the right mindset. Meaning, like he was going on to say, they're worrying about all that, seeking that, seeking this.
Con.
So, yeah.
You keep on reading.
Con. Verse 33, it says, "But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness."
Right. So seek the kingdom first and the righteousness of the Lord, and you do that, through these scriptures. And then ultimately you do it, by finding, the men of the Lord who's able to teach you. Right? So you seeking those things because those men, the Lord, like your teachers, your elders, they're gonna show you the right way, the right things to be seeking. They're gonna give you that knowledge, they're gonna lead you to it, right? They're gonna lead you to that knowledge and that wisdom, so you're able to seek what you need to seek. I say if you can, search apple of the eye. Apple of the key. Proverbs.
Proverbs. Law apple.
This is Proverbs chapter 7, verse 2. "Keep my commandments
Right.
and live."
So the way to live, the way to life is to keep these commandments. Keep the commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's how we live. And that's more direction. That's just more direction. It's just like seeking the kingdom. Seek the kingdom of heaven first, and the righteousness of the Most High, and all these things to be added. Well, this is even more direction. It says, "Keep thine eye." Keep thy commandments, and that way you're going to receive life. You can start from the top and read that again.
Con. Proverbs chapter 7, verse 2. "Keep my commandments
Con.
and live."
So keeping the commandments are going to allow you to live, right? You keep on reading.
"And my law as the apple of thine eye."
And the law, keep the commandments and the law as the apple of thine eye. Because all these things, they lead to life. It's the only things that lead to life, honestly. The words and the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
This is Baruch chapter 4 and 1. It says, "This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die."
See, that's plain. And it's within this book, within the Bible, the scriptures, all that you need, being a Hebrew Israelite, like we did a sit down earlier in the week. It was called Salak, if you could, you know what I'm saying? What's his name? The one and only guide.
Kind.
You know what I'm saying?
One and only way to make it out guidebook.
Right, the one and only make it out guidebook. It's only one book that we need to focus on and zero on to.
Make it out on top.
To make it out on top. That's the key right there. To make it out on top, not just to make it out on top. Right? All of these scriptures, that we just went through, they all pretty much, they're just giving you simple guides as to what you should be seeking, what you should be putting your mind to, what you should be putting your thought to. There's only one book. There's only one book that you should be subscribed to. There's only one way. Just like, that straight gate. There's one book. There's one way. There's 12 gates, but that's once you make it there. There's only one way to get there to that destination though.
12 gates to one city.
12 gates to one city. So it always comes back down to that oneness, and as we read the scripture earlier, everything is coming back to the Most High, who is one. Even if you think about Yahushua, his accord is still one because he had the mind to do his Father's will, right? So everything that we do it simply comes down to this one way to do things, one way to govern yourself. It's not many ways. It's not really hard. It's really simple if you think about it. We all got different paths, but we all pretty much on one journey to the same location. We might start from different places, but we ultimately trying to align and enter into the kingdom of heaven. And the only way to do so is to leave, life of the world behind, repent, become a new man, and try to enter in through those gates, right?
Not necessarily. That's right. If I can add too, pretty much, instead of saying different paths, it's different journeys. There's only one path. Remember, straight gate. There's only one path. And you got different journeys. Everybody got different journeys on the one path. Some brother gonna lose a toe on the path. Some brother gonna lose a tooth on the path. That's that journey. On the path. So it ain't different paths. It's different. It's one path, as the brother already said, and one journey. Many journeys. Everybody got different journeys. It's like everybody had different journeys to get into the truth. Some brothers came from this. Some brothers came from that. Some brothers was doing this before they came in. Some brothers was doing that. We got brothers scattered all over the world. But when we journey, so all those different journeys. But once we get into it, we all align. We all align on the same path. And we all, again, we reading out the same book, the same words, and it's only one interpretation. It's not many. Many books. Making a mini book. Ecclesiastes 11.
This is Ecclesiastes 12, verse 12. And further, by these, my son, be admonished. Of making many books, there is no end. And much study is a weariness of the flesh.
Yeah, that was it though. So, it's just saying like there's many books, there's many different I guess you could say like outlets or whatnot. All types of dogma, all types of different doctrines, all types of things that are gonna that are there. These things are there, and then ultimately that's like, I ain't gonna say they all to deter you, because some things might help you, but ultimately you gotta filter everything you all this dogma, all these other things through the scriptures. You know, everything comes back to the understanding of this of the doctrine of the Bible of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. It's only one. So you might run into all these different things, all these other books. You know, you might even run into a history book. You know, those things can help, but ultimately you gotta be able to sift these things out by using the scriptures, the Bible, because ultimately everything comes back, you know, to the Bible. I gotta say, there's many ways, there's many journeys, but one path.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 24. It says, "Know ye not that they which run in a race shall run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain."
Right. So, you know, and also in this thing, we all on different journeys, and it is one path, but you know, this is a race.
Well, because we stop right there. So pretty much, because that was outside of your point. Right? So, yeah, so pretty much, you notice right there, it said, what are you on time?
Fine. 1 Corinthians 9 and 24. "Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize?"
What?
But one receiveth the prize?
But one receives the prize. What's the one? The one ain't necessarily got to be the man. It ain't the man that's going to change it. It's the man with the one way. Right. The one doctrine. So everybody in the rat race, you know what I'm saying? But everybody ain't going to attain it, because there's only one way to really obtain true life.
And that's, you know, pretty much what we was going into earlier. Like,
One way.
It's all coming down to one. You know, it's constantly coming down to one, and that's right. Like the brother said, like there's not necessarily just one man that's going to win this race. It's that one way, that unified mindset.
That's going to help that one man.
Right, that's going to help that one man, because ultimately we are one. You know,
but it ain't him. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the man.
Right.
It's the man with the one way. You know, each man. Because that is saying that. It is come down to each man. You know what I'm saying? But that's outside of your point. Like you said, you stay on your point. You know, just how you looking at that one. All these individual men.
Right, that one mindset.
That one
is what. Right, is what's going.
Doctrine.
Which
is the only one way to win. That come out on top. God book. You know.
And you can see that in many things, you know, like that one mindset that's correct is usually the one that I ain't gonna say usually it's the one that wins, right? If you take a perspective like on sports, the person who usually wins is the person who got that mindset that's in line with that sport, you know. If you a track athlete, you know. Just to easily put it, like Usain Bolt, you know, he had that mindset, you know, to run those world record times, you know, over and over again, you know, because his mindset never changed. Basketball, you go into the Kobe, the Mamba mentality, you know, that mentality he was able to win him, allow him to win constantly. You go into any world, you know, it could be in the streets, you know, that person who figured out how to win, they just had that one mindset that works, that's going to allow them to prevail. So again, it's just everything is one. It's one mindset that's going to allow us, you know, us Israelites to get to our destination. It's one path, you know, that we all trying to basically get our foot in line to. You know what I'm saying? It's just oneness. Yeah. that's you know, that's it. But we gonna close out. Give all honor, glory, and praise to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Wahakadashaka.
Shalom.
Shalom.